Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald on 1499.3 KLIN.
Oh my goodness, here we go again. I am so irritated today. I'm excited. I'm excitedly irritated. And you're going to hear it from me today. We have to stand up, citizens of Lincoln, citizens of the state. It's ridiculous. Do you want more new taxes? I don't. They are not going to stop. They're not going to stop until we tell them no, and until we vote them out of office and we vote in people who are going to be fiscally responsible with our money that we earn by giving away minutes and hours and days of our lives for. Tired of it. They're going to continue to come to you and me, continue to squeeze as much money out of you as possible so they can get more taxes. Lincoln, today's appeal, just say no. Demand better. Elect better. Man, I knew this one was coming. She stepped back when they announced it a couple of weeks ago, but now she's come out today. Our mayor, Leirion Gaylor Baird, wants more new taxes, and if we don't get it, our city's going to suffer. Really? Oh, I'm going to dissect this one today. And she just came out with a tweet as well, which I'm going to read as well. Ooh, this gets my goat. I'm going to get to this in just a minute. I'm making this talk and text Thursday. We didn't get to do that on Tuesday because, hey, State Treasurer Tom Breezy took over because he unleashed a brand new website that is going to change the way, I think, the state spends money by opening up the state's checkbook so we know where every stinking penny goes and who it's going to. So call in, Summit Lawn Talk and Text line 402-479-1400. Text in as well. You can comment on social media. We already have people calling in. Oh, by the way, way to go, Treasurer Breezy. I'm not irritated with you one bit. He's going to come in on Tuesday next week. And we're going to dig into this new website, statespending.nebraska.gov. Statespending.nebraska.gov. You got to go there. All right. I hope you're as excited about it as I am. Call and text in. Are you wanting to pay more taxes? Call or text in. Comment in. So we're going to dig into that. We've got California fires. I don't know if we'll get to that today, but man, they are going crazy, devastating. That's a mismanagement. And I've got friends who are affected by this, who have had to evacuate, and praying for them, praying for all the families that are devastated by that. We might get into that. And on a lighter note, we didn't get to this. I touched on it a little bit. I believe it was on Monday. But UCLA basketball coach Mick Cronin said that excited crowds don't matter in collegiate games. What a bunch of, well, we'll get to the opinion later. If we get to that, I've got a clip from him where he just went off on a reporter in regards to that. So a lot of other things we can talk about. So join the conversation. 402-479-1400. You can also comment on any of our 8 social media feeds that are covering the state of Nebraska and the many people across the country who are listening to Drive Time Nebraska. All right, here we go. I'll read you the tweet from our mayor later on in the show. Just gets me so irritated. The city of Lincoln's voters approved a 1/4-cent sales tax to increase street improvements. It's called Lincoln on the Move, set to expire in September of this year. And the city leaders hope to renew the program. Great. Today, Mayor Leirion Gaylor Baird has urged you and me to pass the sales tax again for 8 more years. I'm not a cussing man, but I'm about ready to. No. This year, the program yielded, I think, $19.3 million, funded nearly 27 lane miles of street improvements, they say, and new construction on a variety of neighborhood and arterial street improvements. To date, the city has invested $79.5 million dollars of your money and my money. Let's get that straight. Anytime I say dollars, this is your cash. Not the mayor's cash. Not the city council members' cash. Not the Lincoln Transport and Utilities cash. This is your cash that they're spending. To date, the city has invested $79.5 million in street improvements and new street constructions through the program. I drove up 48th Street today. Good thing I got a four-wheel drive truck. The mayor said this, quote, simply put, the Lincoln on the Move program, we have seen the acceleration of our community's economy, safety, and quality of life. Without Lincoln on the Move, $18 million in annual street funding goes away. A severe blow to our community's momentum and quality of life. Lincoln Transportation and Utilities Director Liz Elliott said that without Lincoln on the Move and the quarter-cent sales tax, the community faces a future with fewer street improvements, longer wait time for street projects, and higher street repair costs as interest rates and material costs continue to climb. Quote, at the City of Lincoln, we will continue to build new streets and maintain existing ones to serve our growing community. However, without additional sales tax funds to offset a future gap in funding, we would need to prepare for a much different reality, one with significant negative impacts on street safety, congestion, and future costs. I've got a solution. So I don't just rant here, okay? I talk about solutions. We dig into the money, behind the scenes, behind the curtain, what's going on underneath the surface. But we got solutions. There's a hearing coming up that we'll talk about. But the mayor wants your vote and wants my vote if she gets it on the ballot for April 8th. We're talking 3 months. Extra cash for the city, potentially in 3 months. Okay? All right, so how about this for reality? Let me start talking about some solutions and what. I tell you what, I'm so irritated. We're going to go to a break, and then I'm going to come back with the solutions I've got. I've got real life, practical solutions. City council members, are you listening? Mayor, are you listening? I doubt it. There are other ways to fund this, and number one, to get actual street production going on in this city. Are we flipping away money left and right? We are, and I'll talk about that. And where is the money outside of this little fund where it's designed to take care of the streets? Where's that going? Oh, this is crazy. All right, call or text in 402-479-1400. And yeah, we'll keep talking about this. Thanks for listening to Drive Time Nebraska.
Stay informed and stay engaged.
They keep me up to date.
KLIN, Lincoln.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
You're listening to Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald. Disagree with Doug? The guests? The topic? Call or text 402-479-1400 now to be a part of the show. KLIN Weather brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for this Thursday evening calls for cloudy skies. North-northwest winds increasing to 10 to 25 miles an hour, and some light rain or light snow showers. A 5 o'clock temperature in the low to mid-30s, cooling to around 30 by 9 p.m. Be prepared for possible slick spots and some reduced visibility at times. Cloudy overnight with a low in the low to mid-20s. From the 1011 Weather Center, I'm Ken Shimmick.
KLIN Time Saver Traffic, delivered by Paisanos, Lincoln's best brick oven pizza.
On the downhill side of our drive time traffic, no accidents or major delays. Most everyone doing a great job. A few volume slowdowns, and we do have a few construction projects. We'll want to watch for lane shifts and lane closures. We do have several downtown street and building projects. Do watch for lane shifts and closures in the downtown area. Make sure the headlights are on. If you come across anything that slows you down, help your fellow commuters. Call the traffic hotline 402-479-1414. That's another check of your time saver traffic.
Draining threes on the issues that truly matter to Nebraskans, with the occasional technical or two. This is Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald on 1499.3 KLIN.
Keep your text, calls, and comments coming in. Reed says there are already the city paved a formerly gravel road that we used to get to school. Would not have happened without these funds. The funds may have been used for that, but I think there are other funds that they don't need to collect more taxes for that could have been used for that. If that's the case, I don't know for sure, but there are other options. I'm going to talk about those options. So Reed, I appreciate you messaging in. Even if you don't agree with me, man, call or message in. I like that. All right, yesterday we had Senator Pete Ricketts on the show, and we discussed the Senate's new working hours. They're going to be working over 40 days more than they did last year. Good for them. Put the Republicans in charge, and we get back to good old Nebraska work ethics. We talked about the Trump agenda, cutting government spending. He's on the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge caucus with Elon and Vivek. That's pretty sweet. We talked about border security, cutting regulations, and so much more. You can check out the podcast at klin.com. All right, let's get back to the, % sales tax. That's not a big deal, Doug. We'll dig into that. Little by little, it adds up. Little by little. So if you want to know what we're talking about, the mayor, the city council, not all the city council. The mayor and the city council are asking us if we want to put on the ballot to continue the $0.25 sales tax for Lincoln on the Move to help with city streets for the next 8 years. 8 years. Doug, it's just a $0.25. No big deal. Oh my goodness. We're already overtaxed. If we got to start with 0.25% cutting that, let's cut it. I'm tired of it. You should be tired of it. So what do we do? What are some options? Let's dig into this, all right? Let's talk about reality. See, this is where State Treasurer Tom Breezy's idea of open up the checkbook is awesome. Let's provide light and shine it in the darkness. And let everybody know. Let everybody know who's getting the money and where it's going. To the penny that we work for. Number one, let's trim the fat. Don't tell me that there is not fat in the city budget. Don't tell me that, because you just spent millions of dollars, city council, and mayor, you spent millions of dollars on funds that didn't need to be spent. I'll talk about that in a second. That's ridiculous. So let's cut the budget. This year's city budget approximately around $350 million total. The tax that was generated for Lincoln on the Move was $19.3 million. About a 5.5% take of the budget amount. Let's start trimming. Can you trim 5%? You're asking the citizens of this city and other taxes on the county and the state to pay more taxes, and our budgets get tightened. We have to cut. You can cut. Trimming the fat. Don't tell me there's no fat. Trimming the fat is a great place to start. We need Elon Musk. We need Vivek Ramaswamy to be torpedoing in here to Lincoln, Nebraska, putting out some tweets and saying, you know what, enough is enough. Man, it was burned in my brain. I think a post or maybe it was a video of Elon. And he said, you know what, this is what's unfair about our country, something to this effect. But he said, you know what, we work, we get taxed. We buy something, we get taxed. We own something, we get taxed. We sell that something, we get taxed. We die, we get taxed. That's not right. And then you got little government agencies all along the way in the county, in the city, in the state that want to take a little bit of your money, a little bit of my money, and over time it adds up. Cut the freaking fat. But Doug, there's no fat to cut. All right, let's talk about that. What about the excess funds, the carryover funds from the 2023-2024 fiscal year? $16.1 million not used by the city of Lincoln. What did they do? City council met. I know one member who didn't vote for this, said, no, let's give that money back to the citizens. Let's apply it maybe to next year's budget. Make the budget less. No. Majority of the city council and the mayor said, you know what, let's spend that money on something, just anything. $16.1 million in 1 year. That almost funds the entire Lincoln on the Move annual intake. Cut the fat. And when you have excess, give it back to us. And part of that fat you can cut is the $16.1 million that you decided to spend on the fly. That's where you can start. 16.1 be available right there from the budget. You want to make up the difference up to 19 million? Number 3, gambling tax. The city and the county, the city of Lincoln and the county of Lancaster will receive about $1.3 million in funds from the gambling tax. And guess what? Those funds are discretionary. Discretionary. They can choose however they want to spend those funds. Hey, now we're up to $17.4 million. Hey. No, let's tax our people more. Do you want me to keep going? Let's keep going. What about the wheel taxes we pay? You know, the top 2 taxes that kill the average person in this city and this county, property taxes and vehicle registration taxes. What about those that are 20, 30 years old, young families? That's a huge amount of taxes. Unless you own a crappy house and a crappy car. Still taxes, still a lot of taxes. The wheel tax alone is $77 from what I understand, is $77 for a car and $111 for a truck each year. $25 to $30 million right here. How are we managing those funds? That's my question. You want me to keep going? Heck, Doug, let's keep going. What about the fuel tax? 29.6 cents of every single gallon of fuel. So for me to fill up my truck, my tank of gas, $7.50 of every tank goes to a fuel tax. Where's the money going? Don't tell me we don't have the funds. Don't tell me that. And don't tell me we need to do more taxes or else our city's going to suffer. Good night. Terry texted in, do you have any idea if the wheel tax goes towards roads? I keep hearing that it doesn't. Good question. It should. What else should it be used for? Wheel tax? Wheels run on the road. On the wheel tax, they don't pay me back for my tires that I need to get that wear down. I don't know. I don't know. When are we going to, when are we going to say enough's enough? When are we going to talk to our friends and our family and our neighbors and say, this isn't partisan. This is your money and my money that we work for. Democrat, Republican, independent, whatever. And until we stand up and say, stop taking our money and start managing appropriately, it's not going to stop. But Doug, there's not any money. We need this new tax. No, we don't. You cut the budget. You use excess funds from the budget either wisely or you give it back to the people. You utilize the gambling tax for roads, if that's what you want to use it for. Wheel taxes and fuel taxes, where does it all go? There is plenty of money to make up the, whatever it is, $19 million or whatever it is from this fund annually. How about we elect leaders that will cut the fat and effectively manage the money? Ultimately, cutting our taxes and not raising them. How about we do that? So you're going to hear me say, vote no. Vote no. Vote no on Lincoln on the Move. Vote no. And vote yes on candidates who will do a better job of managing our money. All right, we're going to take a break here. I'm going to come back. I'm going to dig into this. I'm also going to talk about, because the good side of this, Nebraska State Treasurer Tom Breezy has set a precedent. And if you're a state senator, listen to this. Bring up this bill. I've got a new bill, LB Transparency. And I'm going to talk about that because we need it at every level of government. And now that we're talking about this, we need it with the city of Lincoln's budget. We need to know where every single penny is going and who's getting paid for it. Drive Time Nebraska is here. We thank you for listening to that. Cities from across the state, they're listening to Drive Time Nebraska.
Your city, your voice.
The border is our biggest problem right now.
Talk radio powered by you.
If we don't say something, nothing will change.
The voice of Lincoln is 1499.3 KLIN.
Bring in your favorite shoes to the Good Feet store and we'll personally fit you to ensure your comfort.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
What's the radon level at your home? Don't know? Find out with a call to Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Make sure your home is safe with a radon check from Bryant. If you've already tested, ask Bryant for a free estimate for mitigation. Once completed, you'll get a report showing how much safer your home is. When it comes to radon, call Bryant 467-1111 for testing and mitigation. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
If you're struggling with weight and frustrated with dieting each and every year, Mark Patrick Seminars can help. Join the over 500,000 people who have attended Mark Patrick Seminars with great weight loss results. Mark Patrick Seminars will be in Lincoln on Wednesday, January 22nd.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about desserts like I used to.
Bridget, how much have you lost now?
I had lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful.
And I would just say go for it.
Early bird special only $49.99. Lose all the weight you want, 100% guaranteed. Wednesday, January 22nd at the Holiday Inn Lincoln Southwest in Lincoln. Weight loss seminar 5:30. Registration 5. Attend this program and find out how the power of hypnosis can help you achieve your weight loss goals. There's limited seating, so get there early. Learn more at markpatrickseminars.com.
You're listening to Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald. More of the show coming up on 1499.3 KLIN. KLIN weather brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for this Thursday evening calls for cloudy skies. North-northwest winds increasing to 10 to 25 miles an hour, and some light rain or light snow showers. A 5 o'clock temperature in the low to mid-30s, cooling to around 30 by 9 p.m. Be prepared for possible slick spots and some reduced visibility at times. Cloudy overnight with a low in the low to mid-20s. From the 1011 Weather Center, I'm Ken Shimmick.
KLIN Time Saver Traffic, delivered by Paisanos, Lincoln's best brick oven pizza.
Wrapping up our traffic reports, no new accidents or major delays, most traffic moving well. A few volume slowdowns, and we do have a few construction projects. We'll want to watch for lane shifts and lane closures. Keep in mind West A Street, Southwest 30th to Southwest 27th. That is closed for a paving project. And work continues on South 17th from A to K Street. Lane closures for paving and water main work. Make sure the headlights are on. There is a potential for some snow flurries coming through this evening and overnight. Do use caution as there's likely to be some slick roads. Keeping you moving with Time Saver Traffic. I'm Chris Lofgren.
Tackling the issues that truly matter to Nebraskans head on. With the occasional targeting call, this is Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald on 1499.3 KLIN.
Oh, Mike texts in, Doug, take it easy. Well, no, don't do that because that's why I tune in to hear you. I think we need our own Doge committee in Nebraska. Heck yeah. Mike will sign you up. Get you on that committee, start cutting the crap. My goodness. All right, Sam texted in, fear-mongering at its finest. They must teach it in political science classes at all Ivy League schools. All right, that's fine. You can use me as an example. That's unless I get hit with a coronary before I close out the show. So Wyatt, get 911 ready on the phone. So, all right, I want to thank our title sponsor, Lincoln Coin and Bullion, for sponsoring the show. We appreciate that. They have been my trusted precious metals team for well over 10 years now, nearly 15. Honest, fun, hardworking people. If you're looking to buy gold, silver, platinum, and palladium, just do it. If you're interested, just call them up. Set up an appointment, talk to them. They're great people to talk to. No pressure. Great people and well trusted in Lincoln, the state, and the Midwest. One of the only ones that can deal with, 6-7 figure deals down to hundreds of dollars. So call them up, 402-327-2853. It's 402-327-2853. Or go to their website, lincolncoinandbullion.com. All right. Talking about all the good things that our leaders in the city want to do to raise your taxes again. So our mayor, Leirion Gaylor Baird, wants to extend the Lincoln on the Move 0.25% sales tax for another 8 years. But Doug, it's only 0.25%. It's where it's. Do you understand? Oh, this is irritating. Do you understand the games and the strategies that some of your elected officials do to get more money to push their agenda? Do you understand what they do? Little bits here, little bits there, Little bits everywhere. It's not a big deal. It's just a 0.25% sales tax, Doug. Oh, let's see. What did city officials say? Here's what they said. The sales tax is the equivalent of 1 additional cent of sales tax for a $4 gallon of milk. Thank you, city officials. Yeah, that sounds great. We'll just slide it in. But guess what? Every government entity adding these little things up, guess what? Adds up to a lot. So they're hoping that nearly every citizen, since it's so small, won't see it. But please understand, no matter how small it is, it adds up. That's why I love what Nebraska Treasurer Tom Breezy did. He opened up Nebraska's checkbook. He said, you know what? Transparency is important. Let's create a website where everybody can see where every single dollar of your hardworking money has gone to. That's great. It's exactly what every entity needs to do. Statespending.nebraska.gov. Way to go, Treasurer Breezy. Way to go on that. Now, here's my take before I jump back into the sales tax thing. State senators, governor, anybody who will listen, let's make this a bill. I'm calling it LB Transparency. LB Transparency. What will it do? Very simple. I've got it written out in one sentence. Require every state, county, city, and public school entity to have a website that reveals every dollar they spent to the penny and to who that money went to. One sentence. In other words, open up your checkbook. But Doug, man, you talk about counties that don't have a lot of excess funds and all. You know what? I will also go for another bill. That's the LB Transparency Fund. We would pay for agencies to develop this website to get that information out. Why? Because it would pay for itself immediately when people know where the money's being spent. And we can do it by 2028. We give everyone 3 years to get this done. Could be done in 3 months, but we'll give them 3 years to be gracious. LB Transparency and LB Transparency Fund. I may have to petition to get it on the ballot next time. The more I think about this and the more I see what's going on behind the scenes, somebody's got to do something. All right, let's dig more into the sales tax thing. Speaking of something, today, the mayor came out and said, hey, we need to re-up this Lincoln on the Move 0.25% sales tax for the next 8 years. And we need to get it on the ballot for the primary coming up on April 8th. Like, they want it voted on in 3 months and it'll be done. It'd be implemented. 3 months. Then it says here, there had been some discussion about asking for more than 1/4 cent, but the coalition and the mayor concluded they would keep it the same. Why? Because you think I'm irate now. If they'd have jumped that up to 1/2 or 3/4 or 1%, and they want to keep the ballot language the same, include at least 25% of the revenue to be used on new construction of non-residential streets, and at least 1.5% would help for the North 33rd Street and Cornhusker Highway Railroad Crossing project. As with the current program, none of the money would be used for sidewalks, trails, traffic signals, or other non-paving projects, nor would it be used to pay off any city bonds, issued bonds. Man, we got a lot of streets that money hasn't helped. If the ballot initiative, if they would be able to get it on the ballot, and it passes, it would go into effect October 1st and end September 30th, 2033. So here's the deal. Monday City Council meeting, January 27th, will be the first reading of this public hearing. You can check it out. I think it's at 5:30. The council is going to then vote on resolutions on February 3rd. Then it has to be certified and delivered to Lancaster County Election Commissioner by February 14th, Valentine's Day, and get on the primary ballot. Again, our gracious city officials say the sales tax is about the equivalent of one additional cent of sales tax for a $4 gallon of milk. Enough. All right, let's go to the text line. John says, how about the high-end cars? No license, no insurance, year plus old transits. I know. There's plenty of money that's being inappropriately spent or could be cut or is not designated appropriately, or, you know, fringe benefits to people who are getting cuts. That's where this is. We have created a giant that if we don't control right now, it will take over. Oh, Doug, you're just, you're fear-mongering. I'm not fear-mongering. This is my money. And I'm providing clear solutions. That's not fear-mongering. If I have to cut my budget, my family budget, I have to cut a family budget. It's not fear-mongering to my family. It's here's a reality, and we need to make changes. It's just the thing is this. We as citizens have not stepped up fast enough to say enough's enough and to say no more. Your budget can't go any higher. You're done. We haven't stepped up to say that yet. So, of course, they're going to take advantage of it. Of course they are. What are my solutions? Let's go back to those real quick before we go to the next break. Trim the fat and cut the budget. $350 million in budget. The $19.3 million that was brought in by Lincoln on the Move is nearly 5.5% of the city budget amount. Can you cut 5.5%? Let's go. Number two, what about the excess funds and carryover funds from 2023 and 2024's fiscal year of $16.1 million that you just had to spend, City Council and Mayor? Number three, what about the gambling tax? It's all discretionary. $1.3 million in funds. We got number four, wheel taxes. Where's that money going? Number five, fuel taxes. Where's that going? Vote no on Lincoln on the Move and vote yes on candidates who will do a better job of managing our money. All right, the call and text line from Summit Lawn is available, and it's open right now. We've got a caller on. Mike's on the line. We'll get to him after this break. 402-479-1400. Thanks so much for listening to Drive Time Nebraska. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Get today's top news and sports directly to your inbox. Sign up for the Daily at KLIN.com. You're listening to Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald. Sports Nightly is next on 1499.3 KLIN.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
What has cancer taught me?
The sky is pink at sunrise.
Brave does not mean stoic.
Friends will fill your freezer.
And where I choose to go for my cancer treatment matters.
A lot.
Anchored by the state's only NCI-designated cancer center,
Nebraska Medicine Fred and Pamela Buffett Cancer Centers offer access to leading-edge research that results in life-saving clinical trials and treatment options. We have the most experienced cancer specialists in the state and provide a level of personalized care you won't find anywhere else, all dedicated to giving you the best possible outcome. Nebraska Medicine Fred and Pamela Buffett Cancer Centers, with locations around the state. Get a second opinion at nebraskamed.com/cancer.
Because at the end of the day, I want the best chance to be here for tomorrow.
You're listening to Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald. More of the show coming up on 1499.3 KLIN. KLIN weather brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for this Thursday evening calls for cloudy skies. North-northwest winds increasing to 10 to 25 miles an hour, and some light rain or light snow showers. A 5 o'clock temperature in the low to mid-30s, cooling to around 30 by 9 p.m. Be prepared for possible slick spots and some reduced visibility at times. Cloudy overnight with a low in the low to mid-20s. From the 1011 Weather Center, I'm Ken Shemick.
Tackling the issues that truly matter to Nebraskans head on with the occasional targeting call. This is Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald on 1499.3 KLIN.
All right, Mike, hang on the line here. I'm going to get to you in just a couple of minutes. Lori says, how about starting with requiring all city employees to have to be in the office working instead of working remote? I like that. Right before the show started, Mayor Leirion Gaylor Baird tweeted this: bad news. If the Lincoln on the Move quarter-cent sales tax for street improvements is allowed to expire this year, Lincoln will lose $18 million in annual street funding, jeopardizing our community's growth, our quality of life, and even our public safety. Talk about fear-mongering. It's probably what Sam was talking about. Fear-mongering at its finest. Right there. Public safety, quality of life, and jeopardizing our growth if we don't pass this tax. Then she goes on to say, good news. If we continue Lincoln on the Move beginning October 1st, 2025, you won't see those important things we all value to be put at risk. And importantly, if we continue using funding at the quarter-cent level, you won't see any increase in your taxes. Oh, that's a bunch of crap. This is an additional tax. This ends in September. And if this ends in September and it goes away, October 1st, it comes back. Come on. Which is why, this is what she says, which is why thousands of community members share my support for continuing Lincoln on the Move. I don't. Today, she says, I announced that I am working with the city council to begin the process to place a ballot initiative before voters on April 8th that would give our community members the chance to decide if they too want to continue Lincoln on the Move improvements. Join important conversations about streets at public hearings for the city council in the chambers, January 27th at 5:30. We need to go. All right, Mike is on line one and has a comment here. Mike, thanks so much for calling in. We appreciate it. What's your comment today?
Hey, well, I'm second in line right behind you on this item.
Good.
The mismanagement of it took Old Cheney from 70th to 82nd took 13 months. The West Dodge Expressway in Omaha took a little over 3 years. I mean, we're not getting our money. We're not getting. You're disrupting everybody in that area and businesses. Look at North 48th Street. They close the street down and say, oh, sorry, businesses, you're going out of business.
Correct.
There is mismanagement. And how difficult would it be to perform a full audit on every penny that's been coming in to the city since wheel taxes were initiated? And it's not that difficult to take $75 or $125 and say it's wheel tax goes in this bucket. That bucket is only for road improvement. We wouldn't need this quarter-cent dog and pony show.
Yes. That's why Treasurer Tom Breezy's done an amazing thing by opening up the state checkbook. That's the only way we can do this. We need transparency and accountability. And this is your money, Mike. It's my money. And it's not being spent appropriately. I just laid out four or five areas where money can come from immediately.
So I can't get a pizza. They used to say, you want your pizza? Well, now I can't get a pizza, when I want it now, once a month if I go out for pizza because, I'm paying the city for their wish list.
Right. I know. And people need to wake up. Little and like they said, it's only a penny per gallon of milk. Well, screw that, because that penny over how many different agencies adds up to millions of our dollars.
And I'm sorry, I buy more than just a gallon of milk when I go to the grocery store.
True.
So
that's true.
I mean, the city is, Lincoln, you got to wake up.
Yep. I agree. Mike, thanks so much for calling in. I appreciate it.
You bet.
We do have to wake up. I hate getting irate. We don't need to be going through this. But at the same time, we've got a platform here, and I just can't stand by and watch this happen. I'm tired of it. There's going to be a point where people can't pay your taxes. Then what happens? There's going to be a point when people won't pay their taxes. Then what happens? Squander our money. All right, my friends. Thanks for putting up with me today. I read that today. I knew it was coming. I told you this was coming when the city council came out with it and said, hey, we're going to look at this and we need to keep this on the move. And then sure enough, the mayor comes out today acting like it's the best thing ever and it's the worst thing if it doesn't pass. Baloney. As my dad used to say, hogwash. That's as graphic as I'm going to get. Hogwash. Do you even know what that is, Wyatt? Wyatt doesn't even know what hogwash is. I need to use hogwash more often, I guess. All right. Well, I was going to get to some other things today, but I'm not going to let this die, by the way. I'm not going to let this die in the news cycle, and I'm not going to let Treasurer Tom Breezy's idea of opening up government agency checkbooks so we know exactly where the money's going. I'm not going to let that die either. We need to hold our elected officials accountable. And when we elect them, we better make sure we're electing the people that we want to elect. All right. If you want to listen to the podcast of this show, you can go to any podcast platform that you desire. You can also go to KLIN.com to listen to it. Thanks so much to my producer, Wyatt, who puts up with the old antics and has 911 ready to go if I'm having an aneurysm. All right. There's only 82,800 seconds left until we see each other again, my friends. Seize everyone. Listen to Sports Nightly because it's up next. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow, kicking off the weekend.
From the Momo Pizzeria and Ristorante Studios, we are the voice of Lincoln. KLIN Lincoln. KDDK HD3 Lincoln. K257GN Lincoln is 1499.3 KLIN.